What's going on, y'all? Sean here of Back to Basics Fitness. And I think I'm gonna start doing some live sessions. This is something I actually was doing a little bit with like Saturday sessions, where I would take your questions and stuff like that, and maybe kind of riff on health and fitness news, related news or whatever. But I think this is something I'm gonna do daily. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But anyhow, let's go ahead and get into it. And if you have a question that you want to ask while I'm on here live, then I'll make an effort to actually answer it live. But today I'm actually getting on this later than I wanted to. I wanted to be on here about 10, but I didn't get to. But anyhow, let's cut to the chase. So what if the American healthcare system crashed or it went away as we currently know it? Now, obviously, there's a lot of, I mean, really, there always has been a lot of political stuff going on around healthcare. I'm not really interested in jumping into the debate on the political side of things, but I think it's a worthwhile conversation to have. If healthcare accessibility, all this kind of stuff went away, at least in the form that we know it, because I believe that it's something that we as individuals really need to take thought about if we're going to be serious about our health. Now, there's a lot of nuance in here. There's a lot of um, things that have to be, that should be mentioned. But let me just kind of get into it. So here's the thing. So there's always this political debate about healthcare and healthcare accessibility and all that kind of stuff. And cool. That's great. However, the thing I often wonder is, especially with the state of our healthcare system, you know, let me just put it this way. So in our country, as I talk about a lot, we have very, very high rates of certain diseases. The category of diseases that we refer to as chronic degenerative diseases, or you can say lifestyle diseases, lifestyle caused diseases. Those include diabetes, cancer, um, high blood pressure. When I say diabetes, I mean type 2. Even autoimmune diseases, though, um, kidney disease, gout, and just the list goes on and on. Okay. So we have very, very high rates and I'll say increasing rates of these different kind of diseases. And like I said, they're referred to a lot of times as lifestyle diseases, diseases caused by the way we live our lives. And the thing that's very interesting always to me, even all these years after learning this terminology, is that these are actually referred to as lifestyle diseases, which means that you may go to other places that don't have the kind of lifestyle that we have in the West in America, and you don't see these diseases in nearly as much prevalence. So that's crazy. Um, but here's the thing. So, one thing that we do pretty well with, at least from my vantage point, is stuff like acute injuries, like accidents and stuff like that, helping people to get better from accidents. And then also stuff like infectious disease. So definitely thank God for that. But it's these chronic degenerative diseases, these lifestyle caused diseases that the rates are steadily increasing. And it only takes like a cursory bit of research to see that rates of obesity are still going up, going up, going up, and then, rates of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes in children, all of these different kind of things. These things are steadily increasing, even though we spend a lot of money on healthcare. That's why I say it's a worthwhile topic to talk about when it comes to what if the healthcare system went away. Now, again, like I kind of hinted at earlier, there's some implication, there's some things to consider about that. Like healthcare access is important for sure because there are some people who really rely on the healthcare system keep them alive and well and stuff like that. Um, but but again, it's this chronic degenerative disease thing that is not doesn't really seem to be handled very well with our system in its current state. And so my point is this, and I've referred to this before, like my own personal example of a time in my 20s when I went to the doctor and the doctor, my blood pressure was up, and I think a lot of it was because I was nervous. And the doctor asked me if I wanted to get on medication for it, and I was like, "Well, no." I mean, at the time, I was relatively inactive and not getting good sleep and stuff like that. So I was asking him, I mean, wouldn't some of that stuff work? He was like, "Oh yeah, well, that'll work too." And that just really threw me off. But I say that to say, a lot of times people are actually looking for medications when they go to the doctor. They're looking for them. Okay. What I mean is we have a certain kind of reliance on the healthcare system for like all of our health. Somewhere along the way, like in the old movies or even in the cartoons, the old cartoons, the doctor was usually this guy with like a like a bag, a medical bag with tools and different kind of things, and they would just kind of walk around from place to place if somebody was dealing with something, maybe help them out a little bit. But now, and then of course there was some reliance on remedies and things like that. But now we put all of our stock into the healthcare system, and I think that that is something that we really need to be careful with because what happens is, this is my personal view, just based on my life and then just the lives of people that I do life with. A lot of times, what we're doing all day, every day, 24 hours a day, just about, is we're abusing our bodies. Like we're constantly not getting enough sleep. We're eating unprecedented amounts of just unnutritious um junk food and drinking coffee all day. I do have my coffee here, but I only get this in the morning. That's it. Constantly eating dessert, never exercising. I mean, even if we exercise, we still sitting down for several hours a day. And so we're constantly abusing our bodies, but then we make a point to go and do our annual checkups and whatnot. But what they end up amounting to is more or less, okay, let me see if I have something yet. Because we're abusing our bodies all the time. The in between, we're doing really bad. And so again, it ends up being like, okay, let me catch something early, versus what is my normal bodily maintenance about? And I think we've really lost our way, and this is kind of what's caused us to rely so much on healthcare. Even this new drug, um, I guess to be correct, with the weight loss drugs like Ozempic and all that kind of stuff, like Ozempic is one of a variety of similar drugs like that are called semaglutides. But Ozempic just is like the main one that everybody knows about. Type 2 diabetes drug that people are using to lose weight. But I was mentioning that because that drug I've heard is supposed to be it's on track to be like the most profitable drug ever. I want to say it's about almost $1,000 a shot, and you get monthly shots, and you're supposed to be on it for like a lifetime. Um, but we're dependent on drugs for everything, everything. And, I mean, as long as we're very reliant on the healthcare system, then the healthcare system is kind of like there, at least on the pharmaceutical side, with open arms, like, hey, well, we'll give you this, we'll give you this, we'll give you this. And again, I'm not saying this to like really bash the healthcare system per se. It has its flaws for sure. But the main thing I'm saying is, what are you and I doing to take responsibility for our own health? Like, what are we doing in the in between? Why are we not eating our vegetables? Um, why are we never getting enough sleep? Why are we being sedentary? Why are we hoping that some sort of pill is going to solve something when a pill is not even like the reason it's not addressing the root cause. So like I'm a firm believer that you and I have to make sure that we're doing everything that we possibly can to take control of our own health. Everything. Everything. And I think unless we are doing that, then we're possibly relying too much on the healthcare system. And that kind of helps it to be, kind of venture into a place where I think that it probably doesn't need to go. So like I think it's worthwhile to consider what would happen if the healthcare system did change, you know. Because again, you should always be, the based on the things I've learned, high fruit and vegetable consumption, I say vegetable and fruit consumption in that order, is something that we all should be doing. Okay. That's basic movement. And when I say movement, I'm not necessarily talking about going to the gym. That's icing on the cake. But I'm talking about making your lifestyle naturally very active. We're so inactive compared to, our ancestors from, 100 years ago and further back. But like, how can we make our lives more naturally active and add exercise in there as like I say, icing on the cake? Get enough sleep, is huge. Sleep is not trivial like we've treated it. We in our busy culture, the phrase from Young Jeezy's song with Akon, he says, "I sleep when I die." That's such a terrible mindset. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if he's changed his mind on that by now. But anyway, getting good sleep, having good relationships with people, not eating late at night and not eating dessert every day and drinking all these high sugary drinks all the time that are wearing out our mitochondria. They are keeping our insulin levels high, making us more insulin resistant and stuff like that. But anyway, my point is, as long as we continue to just emphasize, like medical, and we don't do anything for ourselves, we're over relying on a medical system that really isn't built to help you to avoid and overcome lifestyle caused diseases. Really, only lifestyle can do that. So I'm not saying to ignore the medical system or anything like that. I'm just saying we really have to think about these kind of things and just kind of like remember that our personal physical health starts with the things that we can do. That's why, a lot of times you see me wearing my shirt that says my doctor is not responsible for my health. I am. And I say that because it's true. Because, like, what else are we gonna do? Go to the doctor and get them to force feed us? Oh, I don't want to eat no vegetables. I don't want to you know, whatever, and then just kind of get them to force us to do the right thing. It's like, no, we that's not the way this stuff works. You come in, you have your own mouth, you got your own hands, all this kind of stuff. So we have to do everything we can. We have to exhaust it. That's my whole mindset. We put so much energy into so many other things but we don't put that energy into our own bodies and our own self maintenance and whatnot. So I just think it's a worthwhile thing to really deeply consider. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna kind of let that be. So when I do these lives, I'll answer your questions. If you come on here and you have a health and fitness related question, yeah, I am a certified personal trainer and I've been so since 2015. So almost will be 10 years next year. So I answer your questions live about fitness, calisthenics, body weight exercise, eating, and the various other things I post about on this channel. Um, and yeah, so just be mindful of that. And then I just kind of riff on something that's in the news. I'm curious to know what you think about, the healthcare system and like our personal responsibility and whether or not, we rely on the system too much. I'm just curious about that. Again, I'm not really trying to get into all the politics of it all. I just think we have to really understand that it has always started with us as individuals. Always. That's never been any different. It's just that we've grown so accustomed to convenience that we forget this stuff, in my opinion. All right, y'all. So that's pretty much all I have. I'm gonna let that be it. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that we've gone too far with like our reliance on the healthcare system, or maybe you don't think that. Either way, I want to know.